I did not see this one coming. Project Pat rapping over a K-drama beat, bruh. I didn't know that was in the cards for me, especially considering 25 years ago. This is wild. Mr. Don't Play, one of my favorite albums of all time, dropped 25 years ago. I had just became a Christian around this point. So I quit listening to worldly music because the music that I was listening to from No Limit to Cash Money, Bone Thugs, 3 6 Mafia, the music that they were creating, the lyrics were contradictory to what I was reading in the Bible. So I was like, I got to make a choice here, like, because words have power. Death and life is in the power of the tongue, and we are creating God's image. So I'm like, these words they just have influence on my life, whether I like to admit it or not, in a way that is not productive for my faith. Versus like listening to Christian rap that's based on the word of God and reading the Bible just straight. I was like, that's the direction that I need to lean into as a newborn believer. And so I think is when I think about Project Pat, like that album, I wanted to listen to it, even though I was like almost 3 years into my walk with the Lord. It's just because 3 6 Mafia at that point, I think I just held them in such high regard. Like their music just hit in a way. And I think because DJ Paul is both and Juicy J, they're both producers and rappers like myself. They just know how to write to their own beats. I remember Lecrae, I didn't get a placement on his album Rehab. He had asked me to make some beats for Rehab, and he had picked a few actually, but none made the final cut. But We Fit the workout plan, I was working on that around the same time. And I remember we were at Flavor Fest for the 10-year anniversary. And Lecrae and I were backstage in the green room. And he was like, bruh, why didn't you send me the beats that like We Fit? I'm like, I thought I did. It's just, I guess the way I attack beats for my own self, I think they sound better when I rap on them because they're like tailor made for me. I just know how to rap to my own beats. And so I think that's how I got a lot of placements to begin with, is because I was a billboard for my own music. But anyway, like Project Pat, like when you listen to when I think about his music, he had dropped a song called, I think it was Ballin', swang it. He just had this crazy, like, unique flow. I remember hearing it even before I became a Christian. I think that was the Getty Green album. And I was like, yo, this dude is fire. Like, and I didn't even know, because we didn't have Wikipedia and Google and all that stuff back then. I'm a kid, so I didn't watch the interviews and things. I didn't realize Juicy J and Project Pat were brothers. You know what I'm saying? So I just think there was a chemistry there with Juicy J being a producer and a rapper, DJ Paul being both a producer and a rapper. I think they just knew how to make these anthems. So like Who Run It, sipping on some scissor, like all these with UGK, you know what I'm saying? And like all these different songs they made, they just hit a little harder than like a lot of like I'll listen to some older songs, like other songs, and I'm like, I just like them because either the beat was really good or it just has this nostalgia factor to it. But like I listen to 3 6 Mafia songs today and they still hold really well because they were just really good at their craft. And so when my dude Chris he worked at Kroger. When I worked at Kroger, I was a bagger and Chris was a cashier. And he asked me like, hey, you heard that new Project Pat album, Mr. Don't Play? And of course, I'm not listening to worldly music, but I was curious about hearing this Project Pat album. I wasn't going to buy it, but if there was a way to listen to it, because I had heard Chicken Heads with LeChat, and I'm like, yo, all right. Chicken. Oh, like when, as soon as that song dropped, like that song still sounds good to this day. Boy, please, whatever. Like, I still say that. I'll say that to my daughter. Like, we be getting weak. I've let her hear the song years ago. Cause she was like, where do you get that from? That boy, please, whatever. Like, I was like, it's an ad-lib from a song from Project Pat. Like, I've been doing this for decades. You know what I'm saying? And so, man, this video getting long. Let me wrap this up. So, I heard the album because he let me borrow it on tape. He had it on tape. First of all, the cover's dope. I love the green and the, like, it just has a super crate with the car in the front. Like, I was like, I gotta hear this album. Like, I think Pen and Pixel might have did the graphics for that one, who also did No Limits graphics. So I was already pulled in from the graphics and the chicken head. And then when I heard Cheese and Dope, I think Cheese and Dope is like the second song or third song on the album. Cheese and Dope? Bruh. Man, he snapped. And his wordplay, like, dun, 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 like, I think that was on the second or third verse. Dun, like, revolver. Dun, 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 like, just the way he says his words, man, delivery and what he's saying. I was like, man, this album is crazy. We Ain't Scared. You know what? That song had me in a chokehold. Bruh. Like, there's so many bangers on that album. But I came to a point where I was just feeling this conviction where I'm like, I can't really listen to this because it got me wanting to ride on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I know some people could just listen to music for entertainment purposes. Not me. Like, music, the words, the mood, the influences, it just, I think because I'm an artist and I feel music. It's not just sonically, it's not just auditory for me. Like, I actually feel it. So, like, I'm ready to ride on somebody. And I was like, nah, I can't feel like that because our feelings aren't the sin, but like I might act in a sinful way based on my feelings. And so I got rid of the Project Pat Mr. Don't Play album, quit listening to it. And so yeah. So that was that. So then let's fast forward 25 years later. I just never thought I would see the day, because 3 6 Mafia, like, I mean, it's like just the name itself. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's the opposite of what we as believers promote. I just never thought I'd see the day where it wasn't about 666 anymore and representing like the enemy. Like, he raps for the Lord now. I remember my dude Big Lank, shout out to him. He was like, he did a collab with Project Pat. That was the first Christian rapper I heard collab with Project Pat. And I'm like, wait a minute. Because Big Lank, my guy. I'm like, Project Pat raps for the Lord now? He's a believer? He's a Christian? Like, it's one thing to like just rap a Christian rap verse, but I'm like, yo, like, dude's actually going to prisons and ministering to people and leading people in altar calls. I'm like, oh, dude's been born again. And I don't know like his whole story, so maybe he was born again a while ago but was wrestling with his faith. I would love to know that story, but I'm like, oh, dude's actually like walking in the Lord. Like, if you look at his like Instagram feed and TikTok feed, like, he is actually walking in the Lord. And I don't care if he never raps for Jesus. I celebrate the fact that he's a believer now. And so I started hearing him rap on other people's songs. I heard him do a song with D1. That song go hard. Heard him do a song with No Big Deal. That song go hard. And then my dude DJ Focus had hit me up and was like, yo, I want to make my first song, so I need a banger. He was like, I need like something that bangs on the street. And I'm like, you know, I'm not a street dude, but I grew up pretty rough. Like, when your dad's uses crack, like, life gets really rough. You know what I mean? And so, but he didn't tell me who he was getting on the song. He didn't even tell me that he was rapping on the song. I thought he was just like being like a DJ Khaled, and just curating the song. So when he sent me, he was like, yo, I'm about to send you the files. Like, the verses are in. And I'm like, cool. He sent me one email. He forwarded it and it said Jared Sanders Vox. And I'm like, oh, you got Jared Sanders. Jared Sanders is one of my favorite Christian rappers, like, of all time. Super dope. That's why I asked him to be on both sides of the blessing. So I was really geeked when he got on it. I was just geeked off of that. I would have been satisfied if he was on it. And then he sent another email, and it said Project Pat vocals. And I literally lost my mind. I'm running around the studio because I'm like, yo. Like, ever since I heard Project Pat do a Christian rap verse, I was like, I'd love to do a song with Project Pat. And so I was just geeking off the fact he on the song. And then when I listened to the verse, I was like, yo, Project Pat killed it. I ain't trying to be biased, but I think Project Pat I think this is his best verse as a Christian rapper. Like, I don't know if he claims to be a Christian rapper, but like, making a Christian rap verse, I think this is the best one he did. Because he raps about his street stuff, so it still has that grittiness to it because of the type of song it is. But then he pivots and talks about how he ain't on that anymore because he runs for the Lord. So I'm telling you, man, this song's a banger, y'all. Y'all gotta check it out. Full circle moment for me. One of my biggest influences all time. Now he's rapping over a K-drama beat. Like, if I would have quit back in 2015, this would have never happened. So, again, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean out on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.